Y'all always talking about, I'm literally Batman, while walking out from the darkness wearing the suit you bought off Amazon for 2 large fries. It's all fun and games until you have to go up against Bane and he's picking you up and about to break your spine. All of a sudden, y'all frauds taking off the mask, saying that it was all a prank, going to be begging for mercy on y'all knees, trying to convince Bane on some. Bro, think. How can I be Batman? Bruce Wayne is rich. But I'm here right now to tell you, it's okay. It's time to retire and pass over the title to me. If y'all don't know, they call me Terry Mcginnis. And I decided to make this video to tell y'all my story and how I became Batman. So it starts off with some criminals counting cash and watching some TV. This just in, there's a $5 million ransom for this girl that was kidnapped. She might as well say her goodbyes. Ain't no one got that much money. Hey, look, you're famous. While all this is happening, there's a guard outside posted up with his gun. 1 foot on the wall, he's got his arms crossed, and he's even got the newest shades on. In the middle of the night, until he heard a noise, got moving on high alert, and got put to sleep with an uppercut. And it's Batman, flying up to enter the building through the rooftop. He looks down and sees the enemies and the girl that's being held hostage tied up. We rich boys now. You can shoot her. But heard that and was straight cheesing. Got up holding his hand, trying not to squeeze the trigger by accident from all his excitement. Walked up towards her, happy as shit, and he's been waiting for a reason to test out these hollow tips. Pointed the blick and got it swatted away before getting hit with that Kais and that combo from McDonald's. Hit him 15 feet in the air into some barrels and got to reverse jumping. Twisted dude's neck. That crowbar ain't go help and got hugged from behind. And I think that man's breath must have been on the same time as BlankBoy Max's, cause he used him to kick his friend and swung him over the airplane and tumbling into someone else. The blonde dude got hit and started pretending to sleep. He's laid out making snow angels. He's not fooling no one. And Bruce really got too much money. I remember seeing that episode of Gotham where he buys something for $2 million just to spite Barbara. Couldn't be me, cause me? I'm seeing all this money laying around and I'm taking $1 at least. Batman turns around and all his muscles start tensing up. Must have got one of them flashbacks of his ex cheating on him. But he powers through, walking up to the victim and tries to get her out before catching a 9-iron, hole in one to his dome. He gets up and runs at him before feeling some more muscle pain. And this is how I knew it was really Bruce in the suit. This old ass nigga is so stubborn, he's trying to be Batman at 150 years old. He's in so much pain. His knees are caving in and he falls to the ground. Even the thug was surprised. Since when was Batman an easy lick? Man walked up and had to raise an eyebrow. Oh yeah, my street cred is about to be sensational. And I ain't gonna lie, seeing this clip made me think of when Joker took that crowbar and turned Jason into mashed potatoes and then decided to blow him up. The overkill was insane. He kicks him and Batman had enough. Pulled a Glock on him. He can't walk right now, so forget about fighting fair. You're not bulletproof, little bro. This switch gon' Swiss cheese you. He started sprinting, ran outside and got caught by the police. And this is when Batman knew he was getting old. Couldn't believe he had to bluff and pick up a gun. Bruce in his prime would have broke both of the dude's legs. He had to hang it up. He's got to find another hobby. No more just putting on bat outfits and beating people senseless. He better ask an AI to find him another job. Speaking of AI, this video is sponsored by Poly AI. With over 10 million downloads worldwide, Poly AI is a must-have app that allows you to unleash your creativity. You can create your own character or even use existing characters from different genres. Y'all already know I'm a big superhero fan, so I searched up Superman right away, wasted no time, and decided to ask him some questions that have been burning my brain. Like, bro, why is this your disguise? What made you wear glasses? And plus, they're not even nice. Just for him to give me the most Superman response I've ever heard. There's also anime characters like Goku and cartoon characters like SpongeBob that you can interact with. I might just ask SpongeBob why he be letting Squidward treat him like that. And he's talking about some, oh, Squidward is just a grumpy old octopus. He doesn't mean any harm. SpongeBob a better man than me. The second I hear any disrespect, I would have put out a bazooka. You're not gonna be able to play that clarinet anytime soon. Matter of fact, give me the Krabby Patty secret formula, little bro. But with so many different characters, you can really let your imagination run wild, making any character you want, customizing their text and even the way they speak. You can click the link in the description to download the Poly AI app and search my code GIVO77 in Poly to unlock premium features. And thank you Poly AI for sponsoring this video. 20 years pass by and we get introduced to our main character, Terry Mcginnis, standing there in his brown coat. Some clown comes in and pushes him aside and starts spray painting the screen on the train. Then he saw a woman sitting alone. That's easy money. Hey, I saw you look at me weirdly. It's okay. Just give me 20 bucks and I'll forget about it. What? No, I didn't. They can vouch for me. Oh no, her ass tripping. He takes her purse and before he can celebrate, gets his arm folded and pushed into the flat screen. Terry had to teach him some manners, ducked and punched him. He's not playing around. In the meantime, we see this dude on the phone like, yo bro, meet me outside. I've got something important. Man, what is it? Hey, just keep this real quick. And then we see something weird going on with his hand. And he didn't even get time to explain. This big dude in the back was camping, waiting for him to slip up. Said, whoa there, buddy. You out here snitching. Posed up with one earring and got a scar under his eye, wearing a full-on suit. He ain't even had to do no talking. Just looked in bro's direction and the minions chased him down and dosed him up. Had this man laid out. before placing his hand on dude's shoulder while the guards drag him out. And he still had the audacity to ask, what's wrong with him? Have you seen this man's build? I'm not asking him any questions about none. The second he places his hand on my shoulder, I'm giving him my switch. This binary trigger ain't gonna stop him. I have a feeling he's bulletproof. The man goes to see Derek Powers, who is that buff dude's boss. And Powers is the CEO that has always been trying to take over Bruce Wayne's company. Don't worry about your friend. He's fine. Great, when can I see him? Ah, little bro, just take your ass home. He goes home and starts analyzing the disc that his friend gave him, pretending to read whatever language this is. Coders will look confused as to why their code ain't working, knowing damn well they don't understand half the things they just wrote, typing in symbols that weren't even in Greek mythology. And it turns out that this man is actually Terry's father. Yo, Dad. Terry, I'm busy. Dad, I'm going out. You're grounded, fool. But Dad, the baddies are outside. Man, you're grounded. Go to sleep or something. Oh, I see how it is, you jealous old man. I'm gonna see the homes. He goes to the club and starts spinning game until a group calling themselves the Jokers pull up on bikes causing problems. Even took his girl and started tickling her. He went ahead and threw bro into a car. I had to sneak out the house to come here. You ain't just gonna take my girl? The rest of the Jokers couldn't let that slide. Chase after him and back him into a pole. Ducks under the attack and bro gets slumped. Knocks someone else off the bike and pinballs them. And now the difficulty gets upped. More of them decide to jump him. So he steals a bike and gets moving, chasing him down the highway. And I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen no driving like this. He hits the brakes to get away from these two frauds and looks behind him, sees some more circus freaks and counted them out. Said, oh nah, they said this man to jump me. Drove off a pickup truck onto the side of the highway and onto another road. But surprisingly, the criminals could read, saw the road sign and took the long way around. Terry's riding down the road and this man Bruce is just standing there. Who he feeling like? Bruce hasn't had any human interaction in 20 years. Heard some noise on the road and said, yeah, I'm gonna go stand outside and ask them how the fit looks, and causes Terry to swerve and crash the bike into a tree. So now my boy Terry is cornered and is about to get jumped. Saw that one of them was holding a pocket knife and had to throw down the helmet. We boxing. And Bruce has been waiting for an opportunity to beat some criminals. Popped up on some. Leave him alone and get off my property. The truth is, he ain't want them to leave. Like I said, he's been retired for 20 years. This is his first fight in 2 decades. When the main man got up and put his dirty mittens on Bruce's collar, he started smiling. This is the reason he's been waiting for. Weaved the punch and started beating bro's ass with his cane. Had this man's neck looking up even though he's laying down. This is why I stopped getting into fights. Too many sweats. Terry decides to stand behind Bruce. He finally understands what they mean when they say respect the elderly. This old geezer's hands are lethal. Knocked the knife out of the clown's hand and started playing in baseball. Terry had to show out too. I've never seen this level of coordination. They're spanking criminals and showing them that they're not about that life. The scene looks like one of them what ifs in Sparking Zero, where they have a weak character fighting the most OP group of fighters. After all that, Bruce drops his cane and he's not feeling well again, and asks Terry to bring him up to his house. Bruce's dog Ace smelled a broke nigga, started barking at Terry. Ace, chill, he's aight. Ace must have forgot he was taken off the street, been around money, and all of a sudden, he doesn't speak broke, changed up on everyone, and is acting like financially struggling is illegal. Get this no money getting loser out my face. So while Terry is helping Bruce, he manages to stumble on Bruce's secret lair, the Batcave, where he sees all of Bruce's equipment and the Batsuit. Had to slap him and tell him to leave. Terry goes back home and finds out that his dad was killed in a robbery. But after going through his stuff, finds the disc that was given to his dad and realizes that this is possibly the reason why his dad was actually taken off the census, and brings it to Bruce saying, hey old man, I'm pretty sure there's something weird going on in your company that got my dad shish kebabbed. Bruce lets him in and finds out that Powers is making some DNA mutagen called nerve gas. Terry hears this and is like, oh, so you're about to go there and beat him? No, bro must not see this old nigga walking with a cane. What you mean no, bro? He's running your company too. Take this to Commissioner Barbara Gordon. The feds? Oh nah, you a snitch, old man. Had to walk out and leave the room. Can't be catching that snitch disease. Might end up turning into a rat. But while he's making his way over there, he gets put up on by Derek Powers. Bro been watching his every move like a hawk. And Powers demands that Terry gives him the disc that his dad took. Terry pulls out the disc and throws it away, then kicks him in the balls. No children for him and hits the jets, jumping down while getting shot at. But I'm just wondering why Terry threw the disc. You're telling me he couldn't just break it instead? What a garbage plan. I've seen Patrick Star do better. Bruce looks outside and hears his dog Ace making noise by the gate. Cuts him loose and it turns out that Ace melted again.
Broke nigga alert. Broke nigga alert.
Is it talking about me?
Broke nigga
I
alert.
think so, my nigga.
Broke nigga.
He brought Bruce down to the Batcave and showed him that Terry stole his suit. Could have stole Nightwing's suit, but he knows his worth. Forget about this overgrown Robin. I need me the latest tech with all the upgrades. Flew all the way over to the building where Powers' office is. I started listening in, hearing that Powers tested his nerve gas on humans and he's selling it to the dude with the big eyebrows and receding hairline. I don't understand this haircut. Like bro, just shave it off. His head is looking like a convertible. Terry gets mad hearing that evil conversation and seeing that diabolical hairline, but gets caught by some guards. And before I can ask how they even got up there, he falls down and makes his escape while getting shot at the same time. He runs into an empty warehouse to hide. Mcginnis, why'd you take my suit for? Give me back my suit, little bro. But Terry ain't really listening to no senile man. He's got armed guards to get rid of first. Jumps down on 3 of them, kicking one into some boxes, and jumps up to get the high ground to look down on the damage he just caused. He lies down, taking out 3 more, and the last one ain't even worth his time. He's doing these guards crazy. Plus, they've got that stormtrooper aim too. They getting trolled. It's messed up what they be doing to y'all. Terry tells them he wants all the smoke. These hands been waiting for a chance to be used.
Come to the street, bro. I will beat your mother now.
A guard pushes them aside and squares up, and Bruce is moving stingy. Told little bro that his free trial has ended. It's $15 a month for unlimited use. Pushes the button, which makes the suit stop working. This man Bruce really thinks of everything. Gets socked in his jaw, and now he's getting jumped, and he's like,
Help me.
while getting that Green Lantern treatment. But Bruce is listening to Terry getting folded as if it were calming sounds to help him sleep better. Even Ace had to raise an eyebrow like, hold up bro, you serious? I ain't gonna lie, last time he gave me some fruit snacks. Just reconsider turning back on the suit. One of the guards wanted Batman gone, so he put out the gun. They're gonna kill me. Bruce closed his eyes and started saying his goodbyes right there. But then he reminded himself that even after Joker blew up a hospital, he still ain't kill him. So he can't just let Terry die. That wouldn't be fair. So he pressed the button and turned the suit back on. Terry shoots the gun away and easily takes out 2 others before turning into Saitama, using only 1 punch on each enemy. I started flexing. He's starting to understand Frieza. After all that racist talk, it turns out the secret to getting stronger was to become what you hated most and join the dark side. More guards show up and he starts running. And Bruce has to help him escape by going into another room and going behind a secret wall. Bruce be so bored. He redesigned his company with secret passages. But Terry takes this time to gaslight Bruce into helping him. I'm gonna shut down the suit. Wait. I know about your parents, Mr. Wayne, and how they got clipped in that alleyway. My dad was murdered by these people. And once Bruce agreed to help, you can see the grin on Terry's face moving like a girl who just got caught cheating with all them fake tears. He jumps down onto the scene and uses himself as a bowling ball, then goes towards Powers, telling him he's under arrest. This is how you can tell he's not used to doing this. You're supposed to beat them up and break their arms and legs first, bro. He gets smacked in the back and Powers had to show off his aim. Took the weapon from his minion. Terry got grabbed and was struggling to get out. Had to throw a batarang and hide behind it to avoid getting shot, practically recreating that one Gohan meme. He throws a batarang at Powers, who proves that all those hours insulting children on Call of Duty actually came in handy. And Terry decides to throw a tank of the nerve gas and outsmarts Powers, who ends up inhaling the gas. Got the employees running away, cause now he smells like green eggs and ham. Bro's got green smoke surrounding his body, as if he hasn't showered in 3 months. Terry found his way onto the aircraft that was escaping, and broke in, throwing 2 henchmen into the water and making his way to the cockpit. But he gets bamboozled. Bro spawned behind him and knocked his lights out, and gave him no time to recover. Said he's on that, it's clamps. Turned his neck from left to right and thought it was easy. Gets his hand caught and ends up in one of those grab clashes. Before getting insulted, he told Terry that he was a bootleg version of Batman. Terry had to show him what's up, pushed him back, then told him to back off. He's chopped, and pummeled him into the controls, causing him to get electrocuted, and he escapes while the plane drops into the bottom of the ocean. Bruce was so impressed, he put up to his home and called him by his government name, Terrence. This man Bruce thinks he's slick. He's still pissed that Terry stole his suit, came all the way over here to embarrass him and spit game to his mama. But Bruce offers Terry a job working for his company, but really, he's using this as a cover-up so his mom doesn't get suspicious when Terry isn't home, cause in reality, he's gonna be the new Batman, since Bruce is as wrinkled as a prune with his old ass. We move on to a cargo truck making its way to Foxteca, where we see this Venom-like thing making its way around the building and moving like your parents trying to figure out new technology, just pressing random buttons, which causes the place to explode. Bruce heard about what happened and made his way to the elevator to meet with Derek Powers. Hey Bruce, how are ya? Wash your hands, nigga. And Bruce gets to telling Powers that he needs to keep his nasty paws off Foxteca. They've been like family for years. They practically are twin. And it turns out that the Venom thing that blew up the building actually works for Powers. So he gave her another mission, which is gonna help her unlock more trophies. She goes and infiltrates another building, sees another computer, and is like, damn, all these buttons. This is why you should stay in school, kids. She jumps at the computer, destroying everything, while Terry's on his way over to the scene, jumping down and entering the building. He starts looking around and gets ambushed and smacked like a sardine into a screen. Had this man like Tom from Tom and Jerry, dropping down to his knees and getting grabbed and smacked across the entire area and thrown away. He rolled over, holding his ribs, wondering if he should retire at such a young age, and watches the enemy escape and leave the scene. And Bruce is back in his mansion, analyzing a piece of this Venom thing that's working for Powers. And when Terry gets back, he explains that the enemy is called Ink, and sends this man right back to work. There's got to be some labor laws. Is it child endangerment or some shit? Gave this man a jet to fly around the city, just so Terry can forget that Bruce has him working at 3 in the morning when he has school the next day. Ink is making her move, destroying another one of Foxteca property, and Batman had to come chase her down, falling down, trying to squash her head in. She transforms, and he ain't unlocked his blocking ability yet. Got slapped in his chin, and Terry really needs to sleep. He's out here moving like it hurts to think. He throws 2 batarangs at her liquid body for some reason, and ends up getting them launched right back. He flips towards her, grabbing the manhole cover as protection protection and squishes her down. And now he's making me regret calling him my twin, cause she takes the manhole cover from him and decides to give him CTE, putting him to sleep. He gets back up, chasing her down with speed, and cuts her off down below. And she's like, oh nah. And that's when I realized they colored her black for a reason. She can't swim. He kicks some water at her and she dodges it. And now I take back what I just said. This ain't a joke about her being black and can't swim. This bit is just nasty. When was the last time you showered or brushed your teeth? Bet probably smell like straight garlic and dog poop. Stay away from me. She goes into the cracks in the floor and starts destroying them and chasing after Batman, who gets pushed up into the air and lands back down and rolls into the water, leading to Ink making another escape. That's 0 for 2. Terry is getting his ass beat by the same look used to write poems back in the 1400s. Ink invades Power's personal space and explains that they have a problem. Batman is being nosy, and he tells her that she ain't getting paid a toothpick and a pack of Skittles for no reason. She needs to do her job and get rid of Batman. And we see that Powers is shedding. Clearly, he has some side effects that were caused by a nerve gas Terry threw at him. Once again, superheroes are out here making their own worst enemies. Another one of Foxtecca's buildings explode, and Batman's out there investigating the situation, but he finds nothing. Ends up going back to the Batcave, swoops in, and tells Bruce that the whip is moving kinda slow. Feels like it's taking an extra 0.1 seconds to reach 1,000 kilometers an hour. What he paid all this money for? But Bruce is like, wait, it's too heavy. And Ink spawns in to send Terry crashing into the wall and starts doing him like the Hulk did Loki, smacking him against the ground repeatedly, and decides to hold him up in the air and go inside his mouth and push it out to even shower. After all this, you know Terry is going to inspect every single inch of the vehicle before stepping inside. Bruce pulls up to save him, using water to hose her down. And it turns out that while Terry is getting touched inappropriately, this man Bruce took the time to change his fit, out here looking like these. And when he thinks he's got rid of her, she manages to get back to shape and find the high ground, using it to break the hose and reclaim the advantage. And then she tries to make a run for it and go upstairs. Bruce ain't trying to let the hose see his dirty house. The maids are on vacation, had to shut the door and electrocute her. And now she's going back to try and cause damage to everything in the Batcave, causing an earthquake. She then pushes down the giant statue that Bruce has for some reason, and Terry is barely able to save Bruce, ends up getting his leg crushed. And he had to forget about the pain. There's a girl that ain't his type trying to frolic. He took out a batarang and electrified it to send her 10 feet away. Told her to keep her distance, she don't want this smoke. And while she's breaking the memoirs of Bruce's rogue gallery, Terry manages to get out and freeze her for good, and dropped her off to the feds to take care of the rest. It's another day, and we see this dude named Willie in a turtleneck and a bowl of a haircut. So pretty much, this nigga is chopped. He sees his crush walk by and decides to make a move. Hey, how you doing? Bench players talking like they starters. I hate it. This jock named Nash shows up like, get the fuck out of here, little nigga. And steals his crush. Not like he had a chance anyways. Hey, no fair. And Boy checks him into his car. Bro couldn't believe it. He got his ugliness all over his car. He just got it washed. And right when he was about to knock his lights out, Terry shows up to stop the fight. Woody goes to see his dad, who works with robots called Golems, and his dad is thinking about sending his son off to the lowest bidder. What you mean he beat you to a pulp? I tried, Dad. You better show that bully what a toilet bowl smells like. Flush his head in or something. Nash and the girl are out on a date at the mall. Woody got a whiff of her perfume. I started cheesing. He's about to wipe out any man within a 10-mile radius. Uses his new drip to control the robot and sets the program to objective delete Nash off the planet. Chasing after him, picking up his car and crushed it like a toy. And just to add salt to the wound, he started twisting it and threw it to the side. Terry saw that it was Nash and was taking his time. Clearly, he waited for the car to be destroyed, because the second the vehicle was turned into soup, now all of a sudden he wants to show up and do his job. The robot breaks off a pillar and uses it to send Batman flying, and he's using it like a hammer to chase him down and try to smack him into oblivion. Terry somehow manages to jump and grab onto the elevator and dodges his punch, which has the robot's arm stuck in the wall and messing with its electricity, and leaves Woody looking like he's getting some devious head. And when he finally wakes up, he takes off the headset and disappears. The next day before school, he's eating breakfast, and bro, why does his cut look worse? It's diabolical. Just take the wig off. His crush bumps into him and she's trying to make Nash jealous, so she asks him out. Nash didn't like that joke, pushed him and knocked his glasses off. And then he saw a teacher walking around the corner and just slapped him real quick. But it turns out that the electricity actually gave Willie some powers, and now he can control the robot at will. Some characters' powers be having me crying. What you mean you got squirrel powers? I swear I just saw you at that one convention. He goes to test out his new weapon by going to intimidate the Jokers. Showed him the Hulkbuster suit and had them running in fear. Willie takes his crush to the dance, but gets her took in about 4.5 seconds. Nash had to take him outside. Could have just said to him that she's busy right now, text message. I want to be a nice dude for once, and push him into the water instead. Woody couldn't let that slide. Called up the 14 feet robotic warrior to pop out and went Super Saiyan, causing everyone to fall over the railing and into the water. And he was like, where you going, little bro? Before Batman showed up to save Nash and threw him into the water. You already know Terry was pissed. If it wasn't his job, he would have sat back with a bucket of popcorn watching Nash get stepped on. The robot snatches Batman out of the air, and when I thought he was cooked, Willie's dad says, Willie, stop this madness, as if he ain't the one that pushed him to fight back. You should have gave him a list of what to do and what not to do if that was the case. But it's too late now. Sending his dad running away and is chasing him down with elite efficiency. Batman was trying to distract the robot while Willie's dad climbs up top the structure, even throwing something at the robot that also ends up affecting Willie, causing the robot to crash into the structure and has the dad almost falling into the water. And I'm wondering why he can't just let go and fall to the water. But it's because he can't swim. Willie uses his powers to make the robot use his flamethrower, and Batman has to save the dad from falling to his doom before attaching some grappling hooks to the golem and has it crashing into one of the rides, destroying it for good. And now Willie is crying while begging the robot to come back to life. So now it's winter time and Batman is looking at another scene and gets to hide in when he sees a truck coming. This trench coat criminal walks out, checks his watch, and is like, oh yeah, it's time. Snaps his finger for them to load up the ship. Batman had to camouflage himself and get to work, taking out the stormtroopers, throwing a container at Bro and swiping another one's leg, sitting him down. And he wasn't letting the truck escape, had already attached the cable onto it to stop it from driving away. And he walks up to the mustache man on some, give me your phone, fool, and calls the latest number, which leads to Powers answering the call. The man was so distraught, it gave him eyeliner, and he got over to his doctors to fix his skin. This woman right here walked up and said that she can build him a new body, but they're gonna have to test it out on another person first. So she went over to her secret room where she had Mr. Freeze's head just sitting there for 50 years. Bro must be miserable. But they gave him a new body, and when Bruce found out about it, he told his slave Terry to get to stalking Freeze's every move. Forget school, little bro, go follow that grown man. So he follows him to a cemetery where he sees a shadowy figure hiding behind a tree, ready to snipe Freeze's head off. And when he saw that laser sight on Freeze's bald head, he had to intercept and went to take out the shooter, who was like, bro, you fool, take that egghead out, make him pay. And Freeze is like, sorry? Because there ain't really much he can do, the damage is already done. And he goes on live TV to try and gaslight the public. But on his way out, he realizes that his new body isn't really holding up. And the doc tries to do some more tests by upping the temperature to make him pass out. And Bro saw her straight face looking through the glass and couldn't take it. Wanted to send her to the gulag. Threw the table to her dome, and now he's the one with the straight face. Ain't shit funny now, huh? And he runs up to his freedom. They walk into the office and hear a rumbling before some ice shows up out of nowhere, causing a whole bunch of damage and even blocking them from running out the exit. And this man Freeze thought he was performing for a concert, started raising from the ground in front of a live crowd of 2 fans. And this man is talking about he's had this suit in storage. The Cold be talking to him like the Green Goblin mask apparently. He makes Powers slip and fall, and when he's about to end him, the doc tries to get him to stop, and Freeze is like, hold up, where you going? Freezing Powers in the middle of the hallway and even freezes the doctor and has her screaming in agony. And at the same time that Freeze is spamming and proving that he's clearly trigger happy, Derek Powers uses his radiation to get out of the ice. Terry finally shows up to stop Freeze, and now they're in an all-out battle with Terry trying to avoid all his attacks, but it's not working, getting himself caught. And Powers had been waiting for a reason. This radiation is about to be deadly, burning this man Freeze, making sure his body turns to water, having him on his knees. And for some reason, Terry saves Freeze. How about you let the enemies take each other out? Gives you less work. He asks who this glowy fool is supposed to be, and he says, call me Blight, and throws whatever Danae caught onto his face and tackles him. And he told Blight to get his hot ass breath away from him, throwing him away. And he's trying to walk it off like we ain't just seen him get thrown into metal. Batman closes in and throws a wire around him, but it gets burnt off and it backfires on him. And Freeze returned the favor, sent this man into the stars, landing into some ice water for a nice cold swim. And the building starts crumbling down, and Freeze just looks down. Bro ain't even tried. It was either this or jail, and I don't want no grown man putting his finger in my poop hole. So he lets the building fall down on him, and that's taken care of. Now it's time to get back to work wrestling some more criminals. And one of them tackled Terry to the ground, has him rolling in pain in front of the baddies. She flies up and freezes one of them, and this rock dude takes a piece of the bridge to throw up and take 2 more out. And this elastic man takes care of the rest. Terry's looking down confused like, who are these freaks? And it turns out the rock dude is called Magma, the girl is called Freon, and the elastic man is called 2D Man. And their team name is the Terrific Trio. Yeah, okay. I wonder where this idea came from. So Gordon takes the phone from this incompetent fool and gets on the phone with some kidnappers. Bro's like, hey woman, where's my money? And make sure it's in Great British pounds. But he doesn't know that the trio were camping at the spot. Came up from behind to deal with the group of kidnappers, and even after Magma gives one CTE, the little girl screams. He even got rid of the bomb, but she was still like, get this trash bag out my face. She must have mistaken him for Quasimodo. But he's like, damn. He's a freak, everyone is scared of him. But the last member of this fake Fantastic Four is trying to calm everyone down. Bro was living lavish while Magma can't even use his dick, and he's trying to brainwash everyone into smiling and being happy. He goes to see his boss, the general, to try to explain the situation. And bro, how did he even get this job? Anyways, Batman goes to investigate a lab and finds Magma over there robbing the place. And he must have forgot about the weight difference. Got pushed out the way with ease, but he wasn't going out like the old bitch. Yeah, so Magma gets away, but Terry still manages to climb onto his ship and follow him back. Magma shows the crew the evidence that he took, and they find out the truth, but before they can even digest the situation, the general comes out the woodwork shooting down the building, leading to an all-out war inside the lab. But as you expect, the monsters with OP powers manage to get away, and the normal dude in the group is panicking. Hears a sound and pulls the blink. It gets frozen and his computer smashed. And they explain to this man that he's caught in 4K, close up of his face in the camera, and all say goodbye. And they're like, why? Because you were dating this rock man and I want some pum pum too. So pretty much it's the usual reason that the villains have. Batman comes down sending batarangs that get blocked, and they start jumping this man so bad. Bruce started flinching while watching this ass beating. 2D man grabs onto him and gets hit with that friendly fire. Like Magma ain't even say sorry, he just stood there disappointed. Their chemistry is practically non-existent. Terry flips the switch and opens up the vent, and both 2D man and Freon get sucked up to the vent. So all that's left is the big dude. Terry holds him down and calls ISO, punching with straight haymakers, and then punting him on his ass. Turn off the lights and let the other dude to reflect on his actions. 17-year-old is cleaning up your mess. All this for a girl that ain't even want you. Powers is still being an evil piece of shit, so he tells this dude Shreve to do him a favor and take someone out. We get shown Bruce, who is standing in front of the board at his company Wayne Powers, and is calling for a stockholders meeting so they can vote on a decision. And when it's all done, he goes to show Terry the street where his parents were clipped, showing Terry the exact theater they were at. But Ace is making a noise, barking, trying to tell Terry to do his job. Bruce is stuck inside a rumbling building, so Batman had to show up to save him from the falling rubble, and it turns out that the person Powers sent Shreve to kill was Bruce. Bro was just evil. All you have to do is kick his cane out his hand, you know. Instead he's out here having to fight Batman and is destroying a whole building in the process. But Bruce caused some damage from the fight, and they got him a nurse to help him heal. Get out of my room, lady! Terry, she was trying to zip my pants. And Terry is telling Bruce to rest. He's got it covered. So Terry goes back to the Batcave and is analyzing a piece of the tech that Shreve was wearing. Takes the piece of paper and reads the material that it's made of. Copper, iron, and acoustium? So a whole bunch of gibberish. I skipped my chem classes. But he got what he needed and went to investigate. But Bruce is back in bed hearing voices in his head telling him to open the window and go for a quick skydive. And he was like, hold up, I may be miserable, but I ain't jumping. And the nurse had to run in to calm him down. Terry is disguised as a pizza delivery man to trick Shreve to let him inside his place and ask one too many questions. Mentioned sound vibrations, and she was like, wait, that sounds like what I be doing with the suit. Who this nigga and how you know about all this? Hit him down, had him on all fours, and started grabbing his head. Terry don't swing that way, kicked him off, and now had to try to escape while fighting this dude. But Shreve has a suit while Terry is pretty much naked. Need that Batman Beyond suit expeditiously. He sees a piece of Shreve's tech and picks it up to use it to break open a wall and run away. The police think they caught Shreve, but he hit that almighty push to move them back and also escapes. Terry goes back to see Bruce, but the nurse tells him that Bruce was going crazy, and it turns out that he's now in Powers' care. Terry knew what time it was. Powers is lucky he's got bodyguards. He walks through the door and Shreve is posted up like SpongeBob outside the door, saying that he's now a wanted man. And Powers is telling him to calm down, it ain't that serious, just change your name. And gives him the name Shriek. And now he has to get back to work. And he starts putting those voices back in Bruce's brain. Has him shaking his noggin. Terry enters through the window to speak with Bruce and is trying to get him out. And Bruce is like, look for a device. And Terry finds one in the bandage that Bruce was wearing, and that's what was making Bruce hear those voices. So Batman goes to investigate where the sound waves are coming from and runs into Shriek and gets sent flying away, and now he's hiding. What happened to my coat? Shriek blows away the area and Terry gets away and starts turning everything on. So Shriek remembered that he's got experience with women. He knows how to turn things off. Turns off all the sound in the room, and all you're hearing are heavy footsteps while he's blowing away the entire area. But Ace is a dog. His hearing is excellent. He helps save Terry, who then breaks the device on Shriek's suit, which has him spazzing, and now he's lost his hearing because of that malfunction. The price to pay when fighting Batman. After all that, Terry asks Bruce how he knew those voices weren't really in his head, and this man Bruce said, the voice kept calling me Bruce, and that's not what I call myself. Get a load of this guy. This is the same as when he had to say his name for the lasso of truth. A new group of villains arrive in Gotham, stealing all the jewelry from rich people on a yacht. And Terry is watching them drag the bag and telling Bruce that there's some lunatics dressed up in broad daylight and it's not even Halloween. And he flies down towards the boat, hits the sword out the hand and tackles one away before getting his neck snatched. This is what they be doing in prison. Slamming him against the wall, and Terry had to kick him away, got in his personal space. And the king uses some sort of ribbon to tie him up and starts swinging his sword. Batman was moving clean. Jumped up and sent him out the screen. The queen saw that and said, forget fighting Batman. Got to destroying the ship so they can escape. Terry goes to a party and his girl is acting up, so he left. Ain't no point getting a headache. Walks out to this girl hitting on him, and he goes out to hang with her. He moves on fast. But hold on, why is she holding the pole like that? They make a date to meet back up in the same spot the next day at midnight. Anyways, he goes over to see Bruce, who explains that the villain group that showed up are called the Royal Flush Gang. And it turns out that the girl Terry was hanging with is a part of that gang of thieves. So she's doing her job right here, worrying about what time it is, because she wants to meet Terry at midnight. While Terry is doing his job as Batman, worrying about the same thing. Seems like no matter what, Batman falls in love with criminals. He be telling him he's trying to take criminals out of the street, but be having them in the sheets. The Royal Flush Gang go to rob a museum and end up getting caught by the guards and had to clear house, taking them all out and making their way to the exit. until they almost got their head cut off, running into Batman's wires. Both him and his girl are on opposing teams right now, but they don't even know it. He squared up with Spades, who's built like King Kong, weaving his attack and sent him to Narnia to tie them up to the pillar. And he forgot to check his blind spots, getting hit from the back and kicked away like a soccer ball on some messy type timing. He takes the shield and uses it to block her, reflect her attack, and throws it at her, having her laid out. Terry's girl said, "Oh shit," looks to her dad and realizes she was next, looking at her watch to see if she still got time. Went for the kick, then the punch, got stopped, and Terry could tell she was his type. Can't even see behind the mask, but he still ain't punch her. Ended up getting socked in his nose, and then this guy is dumb. Showed up and got taken as a hostage, so Batman had to let the girl go. But Batman still followed him, so the king said, "I bet, drop him." And bro ain't even think twice. Terry had to dive down to save him, but Terry still had a date lined up. Ran over there and got mad when he ain't see her, just for her to show up 3 seconds later, twirling in his arms. Is this not crazy? They met yesterday. But after staying together all night, they made plans for another date for the next evening. But after an argument with her family, she calls Terry, telling him it's over, and this man is heartbroken. Once again, they just met. But Terry gets a stalking, finds out where she's staying at to make sure she's not cheating, and finds out that she's a part of the Royal Flush Gang. The gang comes back, and Terry takes out the queen. Then slams the door on this fool, but gets bulldozed in his jaw, comes back for revenge, and is doing no damage. Gets grabbed again and sent through the wall, picked up, tossed, and hit with a devious 3-piece combo with a side like, "Give me that neck." Terry was tired of the ass beating, locked in, and kicked the Spades down the chute, and just to make sure, blew the nigga up. Bro wanted him gone. He creeps through the living room, and his girl played him. Was used as a decoy for the dad to try and turn him into chopped meat. Flying out the window and gets his wing cut. He had to use his brain, hooked onto the ride and made him crash. His girl saw that and had to do her job, going to protect her family, but got sniped out of the air, falling to her doom. And you know Terry, he couldn't resist. Jumped down to save her, holding her like, your Prince Charming is here, with his corny self. I had to watch her get arrested. So Batman gets back to his usual shift. The Jokers are trying to buy some weapons, and Batman had to shut it down, dropping out the air to put 2 of them to sleep. Kicks one in his chin and gut punched the other. The main man ain't know how to fight, so he started shooting like an idiot, blowing everything up. And the delivery man started running too. He must not know that them Amazon delivery drivers ain't safe. Come back here. He apparently got back with his girl, and they go to watch the school team play a match, where one of the players, Mason, slaps some sort of patch on his arm. And when the game starts back, he body checks the other player out the arena. The coach is saying that it was a legal hit, but bro, he's out the arena. This group of robbers go to steal from a tech store, but get a surprise visit from Batman. And when they run away, one of them calls out the name Mason. And Terry was like, "I know that name." But Mason ain't want to go out like this. He has nothing to look forward to, but whatever. He still ain't want to go out like this. Slapped some more patches on his body to give him that power boost and smacked the shit out of Batman. Had him like a pancake. And he throws a satellite at him. He gets back up, punches a brick wall, and got his arm caught and thrown into some TVs. Damn, Mason's wildin'. And they leave the scene. But now Mason's a fiend. He's shaking for some more patches. Calls up the plug and gets a new batch. Got him smiling through the reflections. Slapped one on immediately. Bro couldn't even wait 5 minutes. Say your goodbyes, big bro. His mom is saying she got a call from school, saying that Terry has been sleeping in class and his brother is instigating. Pulled the backpack and the patches fell out, and it turns out they're called slappers. So his mom is panicking, seeing her son with these. And there's really nothing he can do. He's grounded. But he can still go to school and work for Bruce. And this man Terry had the nerve to ask Bruce Wayne for help on how to fix the situation with his mom. Yeah, okay. He must have forgot who he's talking to. Terry goes to meet someone who Bruce thinks might have the answers to these slappers. And it's Bane. Oh shit. Bro, why is he a pile of pudding? Mason went back to buy more slappers, but this time Batman was around to stop the transaction and placed a tracker on the car driving away, so he got to following it and dropped down through the roof, just to see that the man behind it all was a dude taking care of Bane at his house. Both slapped on some of his stuff and got to raging, throwing a can at Terry, blocking his kick with his chest, and started acting as a boxing instructor holding the mittens. Sees Terry winding up alright and is in ecstasy, eating them punches for breakfast. That's light work. Backhanded him away like a bad child. Shh, be quiet, I'm on the phone. And got kicked in his chin, turned his whole neck, punched him back and missed 2 more. And then he ain't want to give him space to breathe. Had that lockdown defense, punches the wall and gets pushed and thrown back just to get stomped on. He then tries to choke him out and headbutted. Metal to cranium, that's gonna hurt in the morning. Terry said forget it, picked up a weapon and tried to hit him with it, but gets it taken away and javelin thrown to him. All of a sudden, this nerf is a 5-star athlete. Batman tries to tie him up, gets the rope broken, and he got tired of all that running. Broke the path, and Batman had to throw the battle rank to turn on the machine under him. And when he got close, threw him into some more slappers. And now he's tweaking out, muscle spasms and all that. Waited for Terry to get close and grabbed his ankles and launched him to a wall and started flexing. Bro forgot about the mission. He can feel the pump now. Take the pics. Get some of the potions in his eyes, and now he's swinging like a toddler before just blowing up everything, causing the whole place to crash down. And when Terry gets back up, he finds out that bro was gone. He was off that za. And Bruce had to help prove to Terry's mom that he was clean. The slappers weren't his. So you get to this girl right here who's walking home late at night. She runs into this strange man who shows her his glowing ball. And she's like, "Ooh, shiny," acting like Dory. And it hypnotized her into going into her home and taking her dad's statue and drops it. And the strange man takes it for himself. He strikes again, this time giving some old man PTSD from the war times. And when Batman shows up, he gives the old man a switch and he starts blasting. Terry had to knock it out of his hand and get to wrestling him and kicks him away. And the contact gave him his memory back, realizing that the strange dude that he ended up calling the Spellbinder is simply a weirdo. Terry goes to his only black friend's parents' wedding, and Spellbinder is there hypnotizing the bride. Terry sees him and puts on the suit, saving the bride from falling, until he gets spiked away and launched to the wall. And I'm not gonna lie, this orange dude is probably my least favorite villain in this show. Well, him and the bootleg Fantastic Four. So rewatching this episode had me like, aight bro, what is this? Cause Spellbinder manages to hypnotize Terry and makes him jump from the vehicle with perfect form. And he barely woke up in time and got sent crashing into a bus. Terry goes to the school psychologist, and 2 seconds later, Bruce finds this nigga stealing from him with a big smile on his face and put Bruce on his ass when he tried to stop him. He had to show off his quarterback skills through his king to make Terry trip and wake him up from his slumber. So long story short, Spellbinder was a psychologist. So back to what actually matters. There's this employee who's talking to Ink, who's trapped in ice. Bro is in love with a woman who doesn't shower and who can't even talk back to him since she's trapped in ice. He's down terrible. His boss saw the tape in 4K Ultra HD, even slowed down the kissing scene, and almost threw up, had to fire him. So he said, "I bet," and freed his girl from her prison. Bruce couldn't let that slide. She knows the location of the operations. Told Terry to suit up and even gave the blick. Wipe her off the map if you need to. He starts watching everyone leaving the building and pinpoints Ink. Karate kicks bro to the concrete, and the police weren't having it. Tackled him to the ground and made him miss his shot. There's always those dudes that jump to conclusions to try and impress a woman. Just let me cook, bro. Kicking him off, and Ink shows herself and destroys his gun. They then get hammered and wrapped up, and they start shooting. Batman is just collateral, it's fine. And she manages to get away. But you know, she was locked up for so long, hearing all the lame dude stories. So she went to take advantage of him, pull up to his crib, and brainwash him into helping her with her crimes. Bruce does his science experiments and explains to Terry that Ink can't go back to her human form after being frozen in ice for so long. And they figure out that she's gonna be looking for a doctor to fix her up. Her lapdog helps her break in to get the formula she needs. And this loser is asking about the reward she promised him. And then she tips out her clothes. And I'm wondering how this is gonna work. But it turns out I was just tripping. What he wants is to be like her and be scared of water and smell like trash cans for the rest of his life. Batman appears and jumps down, but gets ambushed and pushed into a tank and starts to get smacked around like a doll. And then gets his head turned and oh, throw a punch, bro, please. He tries to kick her and punch her, doing no damage, and gets thrown into another tank and almost gets squashed. And now she's on him, chasing him down before grabbing him and trying to swallow him whole. He ain't want that, so he grabs his batarang and throws it at her, electrocuting her, but it's not over. Her lover has her back. One-sided teamwork. Using a mechanical arm to grab him and send him down. Got blood drooling out his mouth. I'm just gonna blame it on the lack of sleep. I'm in denial. She drinks the potion to get her form back, and she gaslights Bruce into showing up to save Terry. While this bum over here is still begging for his reward, so she gives it to him. And look at him, dumbass. Bruce turns the corner and gets tricked by Ink, who was pretending to be Batman, but Bruce always keeps that thing on him. Showed off a different bat suit and sent her for a home run. And he was in no rush to free Terry. Called for the ISO. Didn't even need a screen. Just watch from over there, little bro. He presses Ink, trying to box, and gets sent flying. But the loser shows up in her way and starts to mess things up. Gave Terry time to think. He gets free and breaks the glass ceiling, letting the rain fall down and washes Ink away. So apparently, Barbara Gordon likes chocolate. Went black and never turned back. Who would have thought? But turns around and sees his avatar standing across the street. Pushes her husband away and gets pinned to a tree. Oh yeah, I'm on you. Slicing up the wood, cuts her gun. And bro, how tall is this chick? Why is she so lanky? Bro picks up the trash can and throws it at her, and he gets sliced. Batman had to hop down and body slam her. Got kicked off and she gets to sprint. And apparently Barbara's husband is useless. Tripping over a tree branch, and Batman had to come in for the last second block, running the ones and tripping her to then tie her up. But she's literally holding a gigantic knife in her hand, used it to cut herself free and starts swinging. Sees him jump up a light pole and cuts it down. The police show up and Terry is thinking, okay, I did my job, I can go home now. Bro, chill. They out there shooting at the wrong person and telling me it so happens to be the person dressed in black. Oh, I see how it is. But the enemy gets away and Bruce gets to hacking the system. Finds out that her name is Kurare and that she's a member of the Society of Assassins. And while they're talking about how Barbara's husband is the target of the assassination, she just shows up out of nowhere, just standing there. menacingly. And Terry is in shock, got his knees folded inwards and everything, just to find out that Barbara was Batgirl. But like, bro, why does she still have the key to his house? Look at the costume, it's been like 50 years. So everyone is doing their best to protect Barbara's husband, and Terry sees Karari heading for the house, spawned in front of her to shave off some health, ducked under, jumped up, and charged straight ahead, crashing down onto the dining table, and saw her face. Bro got shocked. Is that a shiny bald head I'm seeing? That's why she keeps hiding her face. It's Samuel L. Jackson. She kicks him and starts running before cutting down the giant light to land on him, and cuts open the door, entering the room, thinks she's about to complete her mission. There was a sword, but it turns out that it was just a decoy. Batman gets stuck in the trap that was set. Karari still manages to get out of there, jumping out the window, and Batman also gets away. Barbara meets up with Terry and tells him the lore about how she was dating Nightwing and that Bruce stole Barbara from Grayson. Said that's my girl, and told her bro to go download Tinder or something. Karari gets moving, jumping through the sky. Clearly, she's feeling herself, she's moving indifferent, and makes her way on the train, where she takes out all the guards with ease, and cuts off one of the train cars, causing it to crash down into a building, and makes her way into the building. Barbara and her husband thought they were slick, hiding in a meat freezer of all places. Her husband's over there with those big eyes hiding behind his wife. Batman had to save them once again, and even outran her kunais that she was throwing. Well, almost. He got one caught in his side. Dodges each and every attack and told her to get back. Keep that bald head at a distance. And she's been watching Dragon Ball, pull off the solar flare, blinded Batman, and he ended up missing his batarangs and got headbutted, then knees and tripped. And Barbara is clearly the better fighter compared to her husband. Bro is nowhere to be seen. She knocks the sword out of Karari's hands, and Terry ties her up, but gets his back practically broken before finally stringing her up. But Karari escaped prison anyways, except now she has to worry about assassins coming after her instead. Derek Powers is still on his shenanigans, but now he ain't even hiding his final form. Batman shows up, steals the whip, and sends it crashing into the wall, and he ain't even got time to really think about how ugly Blight is looking. He has to worry about not getting burned, especially since Blight blew up some canisters that set off a chain reaction to allow his escape. Derek Powers' son, Paxton Powers, gets called up by the big boss, his dad, who's offering him the job of acting chairman of the board. Bro couldn't believe it. Ain't no way this miserable, old, selfish man is offering me a real opportunity. But then he understands once he sees the condition his dad is in. So he tells everyone at the board meeting that he's putting his son in charge. But it's not like his son is some goody two-shoes. He's been polluting water in other areas. So this protester barges in to say what he's gotta say. Those guards should be fired though, because they're all the way up top. How did this man get in? But Powers gets so mad that he starts to shed in front of everyone, letting Bruce and Terry see that he's the villain they call Blight. And when Powers grabs onto the protester, Bruce has to smack his hand. Them dirty mittens need to be washed with a gallon of hand sanitizer first. Batman breaks through the window and tries to arrest Powers, who just melts the handcuffs, sent the acid ball towards Batman, who reflects it to his face. And then bro lost the plot, just started spamming. And somehow finds a way out. That nerve gas you threw may have caused this. So I did this? Maybe. Good. Now that's what I like to hear. Paxton put up the bat signal for Terry to follow, and Terry had to shut it off. Since when you were fed, bro? Just use a trap phone or something next time. He asks Batman for his help to find his dad, but Bruce figures out where Derek Powers is hiding and tells Terry where to find him. He's hiding out in a submarine. Terry lures Powers to the navigation room and is like, "You killed my father."
You have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down.
Oh yeah, my bad. I almost forgot. He's an evil man. They catch him in the net, and his son turns the chair and starts talking like a villain and starts to hurt his father right in front of Batman. He said, "Stop this." And bro said, "Nah, this is family business," and shot at him. And this is when he got the idea. Do a fire extinguisher to distract them and take them out. Derek Powers got out the net and flexed his radiation. Started chasing down his son. Getting backstabbed by his own kid is crazy. He gets furious and unleashes so much radiation that he starts to destroy the submarine, causing it to sink to the ocean floor. Terry had to show off his mysteriousness. He's nonchalant. Posted up at Paxton's door, telling him to watch his back.